Now we want to guard some of the pages if the user is not an admin or is an admin. So basically based on the user's role. For example, these two pages here, manage orders and manage products, we want them to be accessible by admins only. So only admins can manage our orders and products and not the normal users. So let's go into our database and let's say this user, the first user with this user ID, I want to add another field here is admin and set it to true. So this user is an admin now and this user is not. Let's go back into our code. The first step is to retrieve is admin value from our database. So let's go ahead and open user service. Alright, so let's go ahead and create a new user. Let's call it as admin and we are gonna have it as an observable of boolean. And let's put it equal to auth state. Why? Because we want to get the current logged in user ID. Then we pipe it. Okay, here we need another operator here, which is called switch map. Okay, now come down here. We are going to use that switch map. All right, then I have my user goes into. Okay, let's have another ternary operation like we did before. So we want to return if user doesn't exist, then I want to return observable of false. Okay, so let's have of here imported and just rename it observable of. Okay, now we can use it down here. Observable of false. Okay, else return this.db, my database object of type boolean. Now let's go ahead and access the user's object and find the user ID of the user, UID, and find the value of is admin variable in our database object, then perform value changes, and that's all. Okay, so what we have done so far is that if this auth state is not true and there is no user logged in, we are returning an observable of false and storing it in this is admin. Otherwise, else if this user is logged in, then we go into the database to this object and we map to the object, we go find the ID of the user, and then we check if the value of this is admin is true or false. That's all. Alright, now let's go ahead and generate another guard. This time I'm going to call it an admin and we place it in the same folder guards. It will be the type of can activate. Alright, it's right here now. Okay, let's open it. Admin guards. Alright, we want to again modify this true. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a constructor again because we want to inject private user service of type user service and also private router of type router. Okay, now it seems it's not imported. Let's import this one. Because if the user is not an admin, we want to reroute the user to the no access page. So let's modify our code here. Return this dot user service dot, this time if it's an admin, then I'm gonna go pipe through. Okay, this one again I need to have a map from operators map. Okay, let's map through. Okay, then we can say is admin goes inside. Alright, if is admin is true, then we return true. Again, else return false. But we also want to reroute the user to the no access page if the user is not an admin. So this dot router dot navigate, okay, and let's have no access page. Very good. Okay, now we need to go into our routing module and apply that admin guard to the pages that we don't want the normal users to have access to. So one of them is manage orders. So let's have admin guard, and also to the manage products. Again, admin guard, and it's imported right here. Okay, let's go ahead and test the page now. Now the page works. Okay, now let's go ahead and change this to false. All right, let's refresh the page. Now no access works. See, I can go into shopping cart now, but I cannot go to manage orders and manage products either. So let's have this one to set to true, and this one is false as well. So I'm going to log out from this user, and I'll go ahead and log in to the other user. All right, now let's try it. See, no access page. All right, now that these no access pages are working and I have no access to these links anymore, so let's go ahead and hide these two buttons from here, from this menu. So let's go back to our code. I also want to have this no access page hidden from the users who are not logged in. So let's perform that can activate again and have auth guard here as well. Because if the user is not logged in, they shouldn't see what the logged in users are supposed to see. And this page should be accessible only to the logged in users. So let's go ahead and import this as admin into our navbar component, navbar ts. Okay, let's go ahead and have another variable is admin, and this is an observable of boolean, and equal to this dot user service dot, this time it's going to be the is admin, and that's it. Now we can use this variable in our navbar component.html. So navbar HTML. Okay. Now here, how to hide? We want to hide these two buttons, the manage orders and manage products, these two buttons from our menu if the user is not an admin. So let's put them both in an ng container. Okay. And this one is gonna be after manage product. All right. Now let's have ng if. Okay. If is admin, and let's pipe it async. So basically, if the observable of this admin is true, then it's gonna subscribe and it's gonna show these buttons. Otherwise, these buttons are gonna be just hidden. Okay, let's save it. Let's go back to our page. There we go. We don't have it there anymore. Let's go back, log out, and log in with the admin user. These are here. Now, if I go and manually change this to false, those items disappear. Okay, let's see what we have done so far. We check if the user is an admin on our Firebase database. We created a new guard, admin guard. We applied it in our app routing module. we send the user to the no access page if the URL is entered manually, which it works if we go here and say this manage order, and it takes us to the no access word. And apply is admin observable to hide some navbar links if user is not an admin. So we applied it as well. Okay, now let's go and work on the next section.